So if you feel like you are very stuck in work mode and you can't seem to get out of it, then please take these tips and utilize them so that you can gain that work-life balance right back. So I've worked 55-hour-a-week jobs, 30-hour-a-week jobs, and have been self-employed where the schedule constantly fluctuates. Work-life balance is very important to me, and I've learned throughout all of these processes how you can really master and take control of your work-life balance. So for those of you who do not know, work-life balance is that equal level where you are allowed to dedicate time to your work while you're also able to live your life to the fullest. So sometimes we get so caught up in our work that we forget or we don't even know where to fit in time to either relax or enjoy ourselves. It could be taxing. It could be tiring to the point where we start to wonder if our job is even worth it, because at the end of the day, we usually work to sustain our lives, but we also want to enjoy our lives. And if we can't have that, it drains our motivation to work. So the first thing you need to do is to track your time. And every job I've worked where an employee's complained about the hours, I always ask them, what do they do with their time? Now, let's say in this 55-hour-a-week job, it's usually 10 and change days, Monday through Friday. Then it's a matter of what amount of time do you spend after work to yourself, and how much of that time do you spend sleeping? A good technique to use is the 8-8-8 rule, which is 8 hours of work, 8 hours to do whatever you want, and 8 hours of sleep. Now, granted, the work and whatever you want part, that's where your work-life balance comes into play, and in some cases, sleep as well. But you should really understand and track how much free time you really have. A lot of times people say they don't have enough free time. Meanwhile, the free time that they have, that they don't realize, they spend either binge watching shows or going out drinking or doing all of these things that some other people that work longer hours than they do wish that they had. So if you are able to track your time to really understand how many hours you work, how much free time you have, and how much you sleep, then you can really understand what it is you could do in that free time that you feel like would utilize that free time. And if you wish to have maybe another job or another position, that would mean you get more of that free time and that life balance back into your life. It also helps you realize when you say things like, I don't have time for the gym, when in reality you do, you're just not using that time correctly. And that's gonna tie into number 2, which is to prioritize your time. If you have free time, and let's say you want to dedicate it to the gym, or you want to dedicate it to friends and family, make that time. Put it into your calendar and your schedule as if it's part of your work. In that, it's something scheduled that you know you have to do, so you're not distracted or trying to do other things. Now the third one, very important, especially if you watch my channel and you always like my videos, you know that I am a very big fan of self-care. Now the free time as well as the sleep portion go into self-care. How much time are you spending taking care of yourself? Whether it's meal prepping, exercise, mental health and clarity like meditation or exercises like reading. What are you doing to better yourself so that you can wake up in the morning ready to tackle whatever tasks your job has for you? Now, if you're someone who is trying their hardest to really focus in on leveling out their work-life balance and get out of work mode, the number 1 recommendation is meditation. Whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or 1 hour. There is no better exercise than sitting down and just breathing for that time, understanding that that time is your time. You are in control of that time. You are in control of your emotions. You are in control of what you want. Because at this point, you acknowledge the fact that your time is your own and you have control of it. Then this leads into controlling your emotions, how you feel, and how you operate during the day. Now, the last one can be very hard for people that are very headstrong, and this is to ask for help, or at least know when to ask for help. Now, if you're working with an employer and you feel like you are getting tasked with too much work, it could be very hard for us to go to our boss to say, hey, I believe I'm getting too much work, because it risks us losing our position. But it's another thing to let them know where you're at, how you believe you can perform better, and what you think help will do for you and your team. And the same thing can go with self-employment. Granted, it's you, it should be a free range to ask for help because you are your own manager. Asking for help and seeking advice will only do better for you. And now, let's go back to the employer industry. There are definitely other people that are in your industry, whether it's in your own office or elsewhere, that have probably been through what you've been through and understand that struggle and know exactly what to do to help. Many of you know I'm a big fan, yes, of self-care, but also of relationship building, and this is exactly what that is for. Because eventually you will be the person in position where somebody comes to you for guidance. Be that person to share that information, to help them grow, to help them be better, so that you can grow as a person for sharing this information, and that person can grow to be an eventual business partner for you, or someone that would advocate for you in a certain situation. Thank you guys so much for watching and for your continued support. If you do believe this content was valuable, please leave a like so YouTube can share it with the many faces of YouTube. And as always, share this with somebody you believe is struggling with work-life balance, and feel free to leave a comment on a time that you really struggled with work-life balance, either what you're doing to get out of it or what you've done to get out of it. I really hope this helps, and I'll see you on the next episode.